Hello out there dear friends, and welcome to this video today in our YouTube channel. In this video friends, we shall be looking at one of the very important experiments under the stations of the physics practical that keep coming up so well, and students don't always score so well in this particular station. This is a station that most of my students have pleaded with me that I should help them do it, and I've decided to do it today. So friends, the only thing you can do for me is just to help me, is just to subscribe to the channel if you've not done so, and if you've done so, share the video with your friends. And most importantly guys, it took me quite a lot of time to prepare all this for you, so please, the only way you can thank and appreciate me is to give the video a thumbs up guys, is to press the like button beneath the video. That is going to motivate me. It is going to tell me that you found the content useful, and I'm going to keep doing more and more content for you guys, so that you're going to score the best of A grades in the practical as far as physics is concerned. So friends, let's get started. The question is that you're provided with the following instruments: a thin thread and a metal rule. Should estimate the value for the circular constant pi. So friends, to answer this question and score all the marks, all we need to do is that once the thread has been provided guys, we quickly measure the length of that thread, and we measure the diameter of the thread, because you are going to take the thread and put on your table and join the two ends together, and you adjust it in such a way that it is going to give you a circle from which you can measure the diameter of that circle, and using the formula to estimate the value of pi. Great. So friends, we should note that the accepted value of pi that is accepted worldwide as far as science is concerned is 3.14. okay, it's 3.14. This is the value of pi that is accepted to today's marketplace, is 3.14. so what the examiner wants to do is to get a similar value for pi, which should not be this value. It should be something that is about this value. Good. So friends, and you should also note that the circumference of our circle is given as what the pi times diameter. Okay, that's the formula for the circumference of the circle. Some of you might see it to be 2 pi radius. That is to tell you that the diameter is 2 times the radius. Okay, so if you replace diameter here by 2r, you are going to have your circumference to be 2 pi r. Is still the same, very the same. So friends, in this case now, like I said initially, you take the thread, you join the ends together, and you put on your table, adjust it so well in such a way that it is going to form a circle. So we are going to have a circle of this form. This is the circle that is going to form, but not as perfect as this. Great. Then now guys, like I said initially, that we'll measure the length of the thread, which in this case will be the circumference of a circle, because the circumference of a circle guys is simply given as the distance from one point of that circle moving around the circle and arriving at that same point. Okay, because if I start from where the laser on my screen is, where this red laser on my screen is, if I start from here, I measure the distance of this circle round, and I arrive at the same point, right? The total distance in which I have moved is the circumference of the circle, and in this case it is given as just the length of this thread, right? Cool. Just the length of this thread. So friends, and we need to measure the diameter of this circle. We'll just simply measure the diameter. That's the distance from one edge of the circle passing through the origin, passing through the center of the circle, and touching the other end, the straight line. Okay, so this is our diameter. We'll label it as small d. Good, that's it. Then friends, let's start with our procedure. So we'll simply tell them that the setup is as shown above. The length L of the thread provided was measured using a metal rule. It was then wound such that a circle was created, and the diameter of the circle was measured using a metal rule. As easy as this, friends, as easy as this. You see how you could take just about few lines and score all the marks? That's it, friends. It's as easy as this. Don't ever forget, friends, that you have to use past tense to describe your experiments. I have a video on how I explained, on how I gave people all the tricks you can think about on how to score 100% in the physics practical. So friends, if you've not watched the video, it's so risky for you to go to the exam hall without watching that video, friends. It's so risky. So to make it easy, I'll put the link in the description for your convenience. Make sure you watch the video. It's so important. Don't enter the exam hall without watching that video, friends. It's very risky. It's very risky. Great. So now, friends, let's go now to our observations. We notice that our observations in this case, friends, it is simply going to be the values in which you obtain from your experiments. Like for instance, you measure the length and the diameter. So your observations in this case will simply be the length you measured with your ruler and the diameter you measured as well. Okay, that's your observations. Those are your observations, just the two of them. This is what the examiner wants to mark. And very important, guys, very important, you notice that I wrote the length to be 20.0 centimeters, right? That is to tell you that the exact length in which I measure was 20. Good, but you have to put 20.0. Why? Because your ruler, your metal rule, can give you distances in 2 decimal places and in centimeters. So you should never make the mistake of just writing 20 or just writing a plain value without writing the accuracy of your instrument. Because if you do that, friends, you'll be so sure that the examiners will mark it wrong. You'll be very sure of that. No doubt about that, they'll mark it wrong. Great. Likewise, the diameter as well, you use your metal rule. You have to get distances to 1 decimal places and in centimeters. So friends, the video I'm telling people to watch that is going to award you the 100% in physics, it has all of what I'm saying. It has all of what I'm saying, friends. So don't make the mistake of going to the exam hall without watching that video. It's so risky. The link shall be in the description for your convenience. So friends, after the observations, now let's go now to our calculations. Now we should have it in mind, friends, that from C equal to pi times diameter, where C is the circumference of the circle, which is L, you notice that I defined what the value of C is, right? That C is the circumference of the circle. In physics, friends, in physics, not just in paper 3, in all the other papers, it is so important to define what your symbols are. I didn't define what my D was because I have D here already. D is simply the distance from this point to this point, right? I defined what my D is. Then I also defined what C is because C is a new symbol I brought in. That C is the circumference of the circle, which is L. That is the length of the circle. Like I said initially, it's the length of the circle that is the circumference of the circle. That therefore implies, guys, we can move on to calculation by equating the length to this C, because the C is the same like the length. So we're going to have our L to be the same like pi times the diameter. Keep in mind that we are solving for what? Pi, right? So implies we're going to make pi the subject. We're going to have our pi to be the same like L on D. If we plug in our values, guys, we're going to have our L to be 20.0. Our D is 6.4. You notice that I didn't put centimeters because they will all cancel themselves. Good. That therefore implies, guys, if we punch well, we're going to have pi to be the same like 3.13. And pi, friends, is unitless. Don't even put any unit in front of pi because it's a unitless quantity. You are dividing two quantities that have the same unit. Okay, it's unitless. So friends, if you can discover so well, you see that I said initially that the accepted value of pi is 3.14, but we ended up having pi to be 3.13. This is perfect. This is what examiners want to see. It's perfect. They don't expect to see a value as 3.14 because the instruments you're using are not perfect instruments, and the circle in which you created was not a perfect circle because you were just using a thread, right? You're not sure if the circle was so perfect as what I have here, guys. Don't look at my circle. My circle here is perfect, but the one in which you're going to actually make will not be perfect. Good. And there are some experimental errors that you didn't take into consideration. That's why the answer was not exactly 3.14, but was 3.13. But the examiners will give you all the marks here, all the marks. Good. So friends, let's move on now to our inferences. The inference now is simply the physics that has led you to have this answer. It is simply the main idea about this experiment. The main idea about this experiment is the physics of the problem, and it is the inference. Okay, good. So now in this case, now what actually helped us solve this problem, guys, is simply for the fact that the length of the circle was the same like what is circumference. Good. So now the inference, now you tell them that the length of the thread was the same as well the circumference of the circle. That is great. You can further put L to be pi d. That's up to you. But this is the major idea about the experiment, and it's the inference. You're going to have all the marks once you give this. Then now friends, the conclusion in this case is the precaution, the precaution in this case, guys. We are going to make sure that the distance in which we measured bisected this our circle into two equal halves, because if you did not bisect the circle into two equal halves, you'll be unable to get the diameter accurately. You'll be unable. So our precaution will simply tell them that to measure D, the metal rule was placed such that it bisected the circle into two equal parts. Good. That's super important, friends. Super important. Very, very important. So friends, that's all about the experiment. I hope you found it useful. Friends. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you've not done so, because we are going to be uploading so many interesting contents here, and you can only have access to those contents once you subscribe to the channel. And please don't forget to share that with your friends, because by so doing you're going to help them as well to also pass their own exams, guys. If you pass alone, you go ahead alone while this is still behind, guys, it won't be good, right? It will not be good. Even God in heaven will not be happy with you. So the only way you can help them is by sharing this content out with them. Make it go viral to all your classmates, because you might be so sure to see this experiment in the physics laboratory, and it will be for 10 marks, guys. 10 marks or even more. Okay, be for 10 marks and even more. So friends, thank you for watching the video, and see you in my next video. Immediately after this video, you're going to have the next. Like I said, thank you, and stay safe, have a blessed day, and good luck as you prepare for your exam. Thank you.